Well, so here I am driving the Kia Sonet 1 liter GT line version, and this, of course, the IMT that I'm driving at the moment. The IMT means Intelligent Manual Transmission, and what that essentially means is that there's no clutch, but you can shift gears. So this is a technology which a lot of first-time users really enjoy, and I think someone who's just learned how to drive a car, who doesn't want to get in the hassle of the clutch and always using his left leg, really must enjoy this. And it's a technology which is best for them. And how is this car to drive? Well, I have to say that the IMT with the turbocharged 1 liter engine is quite a good tech and good combination of the gearbox as well as the engine. What you will enjoy about this car is the engine's flexibility. Yes, it's 120 bhp, and really it feels like it's a very powerful and punchy engine. It's a 6-speed unit, which gives it additional flexibility on the highway when you're doing speeds in excess of 100 kph, and you're putting this car in 6th gear. The engine is spinning at a very lazy 2200 rpm, which is quite good, and just the cabin feels very, very nice and very relaxed and very relaxing to be in. Cabin insulation also is quite good, and the ride comfort surprisingly is quite nice and good, because there are other cars in the same range, in the compact SUV range, which don't have such a very comfortable ride. They have rides which are a little harsh and they can get a little bumpy at times, but this one has got a right mix of the balance between high speed stability, sportiness, dynamism. The balance is quite good. If you push into corners, then there's a little bit of body roll which has to be there, because remember, this is at the end of the day SUV. It's a high and tall car, so that is there. But when you're not pushing into corners, when you're driving it at sedate speeds, then it is quite a good handling car. Well, I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Woodmore are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices, and also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. The steering wheel is actually genuinely very good in terms of the overall input. Yes, it definitely feels very nice and relaxing to drive, but the steering wheel dynamics are good. It's a light steering wheel. It's not overtly heavy, so it's good for city users. But for people who are using this on the highway, they might say, well, I'll need a little bit more feedback, a little bit more weight. But apart from that, I think there are no two ways about it that it's a good steering wheel and a good car overall. What you'll also enjoy about the Sonet IMT is the fact that the gears are very easy to use. They're very light gearbox. It's not a heavy unit, so that also makes it a good car for driving on a very regular basis within city limits. And those are things which a lot of buyers who are basically first-time buyers and first-time drivers will like about the car. Now let me tell you about a negative as well. Since I'm praising the driving dynamics so much, let me tell you about a negative as well. And that negative is, if you're a short driver, if you're someone who's not very tall, maybe you're about 5'6" or 5'7", maybe less than that, then the big negative is that you might not like this protruding instrumentation panel. I'm 5'10", so I'm okay with it. But if you're about 5'8" or 5'7" or something like that, then you'll have to look around it just to see where the bonnet line is. And that can be a little irritating sometimes, because if you're parking in a tight space, there's no front camera, you have to look around like this and figure out where you're sitting exactly. So those are things which are a bit of a negative. But that's only for shorter people. If you're tall enough, you're about 5'9", 5'10", then it should not be a big issue. What you'll also like about the car is the interiors. It's a very well spec'd cabin. Feature list is just premium and very rich. Front cooled seats, phenomenal. Wireless charging, great. You get a nice sunroof, automatic headlamps, and the works, cruise control, multiple airbags, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which really is now become the norm across the segment, and the 10-inch touchscreen with a Bose sound system, which is the highlight of the package really. So these things really make a big difference, and they definitely add up to the overall experience of the interiors of the Kia Sonet, and definitely the IMT version is a very good package to go for. What do I not like about the car? Well, sometimes the gearbox can, before you know the speeds, it can just, beep over here. You might think that I'm able to take it on that speed and in the gear, but it might just beep and tell you to shift gear. So that sometimes can get a little on your nerves, but it's not something you can't get used to. And sometimes, when you using the gears and you start the car, it's in the gear, there's no clutch, so people forget that they have to put it in neutral to start. So that's all something which they might miss out on. And unlike the Hyundai range of cars, especially the i20, which also has the same technology, where if you put the start stop button on and still it doesn't start, and you put the gear in neutral, it starts. It doesn't happen like that in this car. You have to put it in neutral first and then you have to put the start stop button on. If you've done this and then you put it in neutral, you again have to do the start stop button on. So that's something which a lot of people get used to, but I guess that's just part of the deal and part of buying an IMT car from the Kia family of cars. The big negative on the Kia Sonet though has always been the back seat space. There's no space in the back. That's a big negative. It's always been a big negative for a long time, and it still is a big negative. But apart from that, as I said, Kia seems to have most of its bases covered. The driving pleasure is good, the engine refinement is quite okay, and the overall dynamics of the car are nice as well. And the engine does perform quite well as well. And being a 6-speed unit means that overall flexibility is also greatly enhanced, and it's a good car in that department as well. So overall, I don't think that this car deserves a bad score. It deserves a decent score of 90 out of 100. Yes, the pricing could have been a little better, but I think the pricing also is quite decent. Anyways, guys, if you have enjoyed watching this video, then give us a like. Do share this video with all your friends, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. So bye for now, and thanks so much for watching.